Well, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Needlepoint TV. I'm Ellen Johnson, and I'm going to be your host today as we chat about the wonderful benefits of doing needlepoint on your health. So, without further ado, I think we'll just dive right in. So, there are several benefits to doing needlepoint. If you are a stitcher, then you already know this, but there have actually been studies that have been done that give you like measurable positive impact of what needlepoint can do for your health. We all know that it helps to alleviate stress and reduce anxiety. I mean, there's nothing like just working a regular tent stitch in a canvas to just kind of help you let the stress just kind of melt away. I know that I love that rhythmic back and forth motion of just working in basket weave. That's the diagonal variation of tent stitch, where the tent stitch is worked in diagonal rows instead of back and forth in horizontal rows or up and down in vertical rows. For those of you that are new to needlepoint, when you work the tent stitch, which is your workhorse stitch in needlepoint, and when I say tent, it's T-E-N-T, like you pitch a tent in the woods and go camping. When you work the stitch in horizontal rows or vertical rows, that's the continental variation of tent stitch. The diagonal variation is commonly called basket weave. So just a little bit of background information for you there. But you know how when you're working that, just that methodical rhythmic motion of just in and out of the needlepoint canvas is just extraordinarily relaxing. And it's also anxiety reducing when you look at your project, when you stop and look at that beautiful painted canvas and all of your gorgeous stitches that you've put into place. So in our crazy world that we're living in right now, I can't think of a better time than now to pick your needlepoint back up. Back in January, we had our Stitch 22 and 22 special event, and that was where we encouraged you to stitch for 22 minutes every day, at least every day that you possibly could make it fit into your schedule. I'm going to be the first one to admit that I have fallen off a little bit on that. And now I'm going to take spring, March, as an opportunity to recommit to stitching 22 minutes every single day, as many days as I can get it in there, because I know there are going to be times that I'm not going to be able to. I would love to know, though, in the chat, if you are still stitching 22 minutes every day or at least 5 days a week. Let me know in the chat or down underneath this video, because I would love to know how that's helping you to make progress on your projects, and also how it's helping you stay in the right frame of mind with all the craziness that's happening in the world these days. Another thing, and I need to let me hop over here so I can comments. Another thing that it does actually, and there has been a clinical study done on this exact thing. They measured blood pressure and heart rate on people who were stitching, and it literally reduces your blood pressure and lowers your heart rate. So the physiological effects of needlepoint on your body are beneficial. So, I mean, you can't beat that, right? And I've got my little notes over here. I don't want to forget anything. So another thing that that working on your needlepoint projects does is it helps keep your brain healthy. This is something that I chatted about back in January as well. You know, when we learn how to do new things, that creates what's called new neural pathways. And what that does is it actually is just fancy medicalese speak for creating new connections in your brain, which helps to maintain your brain health, and it keeps you sharp. So I don't know about you, but I absolutely can use with some help in that department, because I find myself struggling sometimes to remember things that, maybe weren't so hard to remember 5 years ago, but now, because I have so much up here now, 5 years later or 10 years later, my brain doesn't work quite as fast to shuffle through all those things. So that's another benefit. It helps you to be mindful, and this kind of goes back to when you're working those rhythmic stitches, that tent stitch, just very quietly and methodically putting those stitches in your canvas. It also helps you kind of focus on what you're doing at the present moment. And it helps you to put those other thoughts out of your mind. So I can't, that's a wonderful way to help your mental health and your emotional health. So all of these things play together to help create a healthy human being, which is what we all want, right? I will have to confess, our daughter is expecting a baby in June, and I think I've been, I don't know, sympathy eating with Rebecca because I can't. I'm all over the place with the Grater's ice cream. I've been chowing down on Grater's ice cream and chocolate and all kinds of stuff. So I'm going to have to get a grip on that and stop because otherwise I'm going to be big as the broadside of a barn. So anyway, having this to having my needlepoint projects that I can use to help me stay mindful of a lot of things, and to keep my hands out of the cookie jar for another. So another is that it helps you to build confidence in yourself. There is absolutely nothing like finishing a project to make you feel super good about your accomplishment, about, just about yourself. So, and it doesn't mean that you have to have it made into something. It can be just the act of finishing a canvas. I know I felt amazing when I put Rick's belt in the mail to send it off to Hilltop Leather Shop in Kentucky, because I know that's a project I can check off my list. And now I'm very focused on two projects. One, finishing Mardi Gras Santa, who unfortunately he didn't make it over the finish line on March the 1st, but I'm still making progress. So baby steps there. And then I also have committed to doing a Heart for the Hearts for Hospice project during Lent. So those are a couple of things that I'm working on. It gives me a purpose to, to get those things done. It keeps me mindful of things at the moment. It keeps me moving forward. It makes me feel really good when I can check those things off my list that they're finished. And, anything that you make for yourself or for your home is going to brighten your home. It's going to make you happy. It's going to make you feel better. So it makes your surroundings a more positive place to be. And that's always a good thing too. It gives you the opportunity to express yourself. I know we've talked about this before too. If you are someone who loves really fancy things, lots of ribbons and ruffles and beads and sparkly threads, you the different threads and beads and all those kinds of things that we have, embellishments that we have in needlepoint, those give us the opportunity to express our own unique creativity on our projects in a way that somebody else might not choose to do. Maybe somebody else loves creating texture with different kinds of threads and stitches. And so every person has the opportunity to express their own unique creativity in a way that nobody else can share. So you are creating your own individual works of art that do express not only your unique creativity, but also your unique point of view and the way you see things and the way you interpret things in the world. So all of those are ways that needlepoint can absolutely impact your physical, mental, and emotional health in a positive way. Now, I'm going to take just a second to look at these different comments. So I'm going to see how many folks have said that they are actually still stitching 22 minutes. And so let's see, let's see. Oh, we've got Nancy wants to know, is silk and ivory good for basket weave? Yes, absolutely. But I will say, I like silk and ivory on 13 count for basket weave. It's very tight and hard to work with silk and ivory and basket weave on 18 count canvas. So look, Jerry says, I'm stitching every night for at least an hour. I love that. That is amazing. Awesome. And Christine says she's doing 22 minutes. Doesn't happen every day. Hey, that's okay. You know what? Just pick back up, like I've said before, dust yourself off and start again. We did have a tracker. Basically what it amounted to was a habit tracker that you could use to check off every day that you were able to do that. And I will make sure that I put that down underneath the video here in the comment section or in the notes section that goes with this video, so that if you want to print that out, you can do that too. Yes. Lori says she's been stitching for more than 22 minutes a day. That is awesome. All right. And then we've got some more people. I try to stitch daily for at least a few hours. Oh, that would be pure heaven. Love that. And then we've got, let's see, successful in stitching or doing stitching related every day except for one. Way to go, Carla. Pat yourself on the back. That is awesome. And then Patricia, stitch 2 to 3 hours a day. Oh, and Christine shares my addiction to Grater's ice cream. Grater's, my all-time favorite. I'm going to jump back here really quick. If you all have never tried Grater's ice cream, Graeter''S, the best ice cream in the world, I think. And their double chocolate chunk is so good. So I will have to say that I get the little pints at the grocery. And yesterday, before I knew it, I had polished off half of one of the chocolate, just the regular chocolate chip. But the double chocolate is in my freezer, and it's going to be really hard not to sit down and eat it all at once because, as I've said before, I have a lot of willpower and zero self-control. If I don't start, I'm good. If I start, that's it. I'm toast. All right. So Elle says she's stitching 22 minutes a day. And Nancy says, let's see, what furry thread can I use for a kangaroo but still basket weave? If it's 13 mesh canvas, you might try a double strand of petite alpaca 18. If it's 13 mesh, you can use alpaca 18. That might work for you. Okay. And Linda says she just started practicing on some stitches for 22 minutes. Hooray, Linda. I'm so excited for you. Linda's one of our new members of our new program called My Needlepoint Stitches. So exciting, exciting. Okay. Then we have, listen, stitching for about 5 hours a day. That's a lot. And you do have to be careful, y'all. If you're going to be doing lots of hours of repetitive motion, it's a super good idea to get up about every hour, if not maybe a couple of times during the hour, and walk around and stretch. So I'm going to show you really quickly one of the exercises that I do when I'm spending a lot of time working on a project. I take my arm and put it in front of my body and then stretch like this, because that helps stretch out your shoulders. And then you can do the other arm and reach in the direction, that your arm is pointing. And that will help a lot. Another thing that you need to be very mindful of if you're working on a project for a long period of time, and something that I failed to mention too, is that needlepoint in reasonable doses can be good for your eyes because it strengthens your eyes and your vision. Now, I will say, if you're doing a lot, you need to stop about every 10 minutes and look up across the room and focus on something across the room, because too much of a good thing can create strain. And that's absolutely not what you want to do. You want to make sure that you're giving your eyes a break. Another thing, and this is something, so y'all remind me, I'm going to come back to this in a minute because I do have an exciting announcement that I'm going to share with you. And that was super important, but I want to go through here and make sure that I'm seeing all the people who are still stitching 22. Okay. So let's see. Oh, Denise says she had to take a break from stitching for a few weeks to sew fairy costumes. Hey, I can't, I think stitching fairy costumes, that would be an amazing diversion from your needlepoint. That would be so much fun, but she's going to get back to it tonight. So congrats on that. And then Susan says that she has been stitching for many days for 22 minutes, and it is a perfect day. Absolutely. So we have, and Carla says she usually watches a movie or binges a program to rest her eyes. And that's a good idea too. So when you're stitching, you can stop and look up and watch the screen for a little bit and then look back down at your project. My eye doctor told me years ago that, and I kind of laughed when he told me this, because at the time I was working on a book called The Embroidered Home, and I was literally stitching 8 hours a day every single day to get the projects done for that book in time for it to go to press. And he said, oh, you should look up for 10, you should stitch for 10 minutes and look up for 10 minutes or do something else for 10 minutes. And I'm like, not happening. But anyway, yeah, but that was his advice, and he was an ophthalmologist. So that just goes to show you that, yes, you do indeed need to give your eyes some rest. Now, that segues perfectly into a couple of things I want to share with you. First of all, You may have heard me or read my article, my blog post over on the Serendipity Needleworks website about Craft Optics glasses. Craft Optics glasses are a special kind of glasses that were created by a dentist, and it's for up close work. He created them, really, I guess he made the first pair for himself, and then other people were so interested and intrigued that he actually now has his own business called Craft Optics. And I bought a pair a few years ago, and they have little telescopes on the end. I'm going to show you. Let me go to. Here we go. Yeah, that's what I need. So let me go share my screen so y'all can see what they look like, because until you've seen them, or you may actually know what I'm talking about, but you just don't realize it. So over on the website, on the Serendipity Needleworks website, there's a blog post called Craft Optic Magnifying to the Rescue. This is what it looks like. And I have a picture. Oh, here we go. There it is of me wearing the Craft Optics glasses. I wear glass, and you can get your own prescription put in the lens for these Craft Optic glasses. And then these are what's called the telescope. So the telescopes are attached to the glasses, and then this is a light. I'm not looking directly into the camera because this is an LED light, and it is super bright. So what it does is it magnifies the telescopes magnify what you're looking at, and the light, is called a dream beam, and it directs the light onto where you're actually working on your project. The beauty of this is that it is so portable. So look back here. It comes in this case. They come in this case, and it's very small, literally. So I'm going to stop my share so I can come back and show you. The box is about that wide and square, and it's maybe that deep. And they are so portable. You can put them in your project bag and take them with you. Now, I've had people ask me, are they heavy? They're not heavy because the frames are made out of titanium, and they do have it's a strap really that you can tighten and put it, like once you put the glasses on, they're really like a glasses chain or a glasses strap. And when you put them on, you can tighten it on the back of your head so they don't slip. And I love mine. Now, here's the really cool part. I have a coupon code, and the coupon code is just my name, Ellen Johnson. And in the past, there's been a discount for people who use my coupon code to get a pair of Craft Optic glasses in what they call their WOW package. Their WOW package is the glasses and the Dream Beam all together. And so what they did was they've given my followers a discount when they use that coupon code. And they've actually sent me an email yesterday. I mentioned this. If you're on my weekly email list, if you get my needle notes every Thursday, yesterday they sent me an email and told me that they were increasing just for our followers, y'all. That is so cool. I mean, I'm just like, I had to read it twice to make sure I was reading it right. They are going to offer the people that use my code $125 off the glasses and the WOW package. And the reason they're doing this is because, well, we just have a really good working relationship, and I've sent them several people who have been very pleased with their glasses. So that is a really super cool announcement that I have to make. And on top of that, we are working together to partner to actually be able to do a fun giveaway for a custom pair of the glasses with the Dream Beam, the WOW package. Now that'll be coming a little bit later in the spring, but I'm just super excited about it because I love mine. They've made a world of difference, especially because it makes it easy for me to grab my glasses and go. I can't take my Dazor lamp with me when I go places, obviously, because it's too big. And so many times my regular glasses are not strong enough or the light's not good enough where I am for me to be able to see what I'm doing, especially when I'm working on dark colors. And so I'm sure you know that. I mean, anytime you're stitching on like navy blue or black or chocolate brown, any dark colors are it's hard to see. So these have just been a game changer for me. And I am so excited to be able to share those two bits of information with you. First of all, that if you use my coupon code, which is just my name, you get $125 off, which is more than you can get for a discount anywhere else. And then the other is that we're going to be doing a giveaway a little bit later this spring for a pair. So super exciting. All right, so let me look and see. Susan wanted to know, if you have blank fabric that has been cut, what type of tape do you put around the edges? I use what's called artist's tape. So it's just a white tape and you can get it on Amazon. You can also, maybe your local needlepoint shop sells it in rolls. We never did sell it that way, but yeah, some stores may. And then, oh, goodness gracious, look here. Susan says, I was stitching 22 minutes a day until I punctured my thumb with a beading needle. Oh, that hurts. That really hurts. I am so sorry you did that. Yes, I would. Oh, that makes my hands hurt just to think about it. Well, Susan, I hope your thumb gets much better real soon. And they have these little things, and I know that you said that you don't wear a thimble, but they do have these little things that are called thimble pads, and they're little round things that stick on your fingers. You can put them wherever you need to, and they will help prevent something like that from happening. So hopefully, if you can find some of those, that will obviously that will prevent that from happening again if you can stand to wear them. Okay. Oh, and Beth says you can order artist tape from Needlepoint now. Awesome. Great to know. All right, guys. Well, that was the main thing that I wanted to share with you. To just recap quickly, that of course we knew that needlepoint was good for us, but though I've just shared with you earlier in this episode multiple reasons that you just need to take some time every day to stitch. And then of course those couple of fun things from our friends at Craft Optics. So I hope you have a terrific rest of your day. Thank you ever so much for joining me. I do want to make sure that I share with you this. We have, wait a minute. Here we go. That is our website address. So if you'd like to hop over and read the article about Craft Optics glasses, you can go there, then check out the blog, type in Craft Optics, and it will pull up that blog post. And if you don't get my weekly needle notes, make sure that you do sign up while you're over there, because we share special information there that I don't share anywhere else. And it's always fun to just stay in touch with all of my students and followers, and I appreciate you being here with me today. If you haven't already subscribed to our YouTube channel, make sure that you do that. You can just click on that red subscribe button, and if you'd like to get notified anytime I go live, then you can just, or anytime a new video is added for that matter, click on the bell and you'll get notifications. All righty, I'll see y'all next week. I hope you have a terrific weekend and happy stitching. Bye for now.